Now at 6, the Coffeyville Fire Department gives information on 2 structure fires. Plus, Joplin community members participated in a simulation of what it's like to live in poverty. And we get tips from the Pittsburgh Police Chief on safe trick-or-treating.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities are investigating allegations against the Neosho County, Kansas attorney. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway after a slew of complaints against County Attorney Linus Thurston. The sheriff tells KOAM that he'd like to talk more about it, but since the investigation is ongoing, he can't. The State Attorney General's office did confirm that there is an investigation and no prosecutorial decisions have been made yet. Thurston is currently serving his second stint as county attorney after holding that post in the late 90s and early 2000s. Some Joplin community leaders get a lesson in what it means to live in poverty. Over the case of a few hours today, 80 community members from 50 organizations experienced a simulated month of living in poverty. Scenarios are based on the experiences of community individuals and families.
The event is designed to give participants insights into the challenges low-income families face daily, as well as to help identify areas of change that could impact poverty's impact on the Joplin region.
They come in, they're given a persona for the day, they're assigned a family, and they have to work through the struggles of normal daily life, whether that's getting children to school, buying groceries, paying their rent, paying their utilities, but really working through those just normal day-to-day things that we may take for granted.
Brown says empathy is needed when dealing with the community.
Because this helps our community leaders to have empathy and to remember that everyone's experiences are unique and that it's easy sometimes to judge from the outside of what we think someone should be doing or how they could change the outcome. But it's good to experience this real life to feel those frustrations.
One participant tells me about the character he played.
I was a young boy, about 10 years old, and so I was at the whims of my mother and father, going around making sure I got to school and also having to pay for lunches at school and take care of myself if they were out, trying to find resources, and it put stress on the family.
I spoke to 2 participants who says this changed their perspective.
So something as simple as getting from point A to point B, getting to work, childcare, just getting to and from the store. I also learned how difficult it can sometimes be to learn all the rules and policies of even the agencies providing those services.
It gives everybody a good illustration of some of the things that people have to navigate and when they are in unfortunate situations.
Reporting in Joplin, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
Today's simulation was organized by One Joplin. That's a community collaborative focused on facilitating communication and collaboration among area organizations. Silver Dollar City today provided an update on the derailment last night of the Frisco Silver Dollar City Line steam train. The crash occurred shortly after 6 p.m. 6 guests and 1 employee were injured. Today, Silver Dollar City says the employee and 5 of those 6 guests are out of the hospital. The Missouri Division of Fire Safety Team says they've concluded their first stage of the investigation. There's no word yet on the cause of that derailment. The Coffeyville, Kansas Fire Department releases details regarding 2 structure fires this past weekend. Those fires took place at 7th and Pine and Penn Street. They say the fires were fueled in part by high winds. They were large and they caused significant damage. No residents or firefighters were injured. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Thursday for us today. Most of us mid to upper 60s for highs, and it still looks pretty good right now. 59 in Stockton, 58 in Neosho, Pittsburgh at 61. We have Veneta sitting at about 63 degrees, but we do have the clouds really increasing. A lot of mid and upper level clouds, but you can see just to the west, we have some showers, we have some thunderstorms all the way down through central parts of Oklahoma, and this is the beginnings of our next wave. that is going to head toward us, and some of those showers are going to try to work in a little bit later on tonight in our western counties. Temperatures look pretty good. We'll drop back through the 50s down to 45 at 6 a.m. Overnight low of 44 degrees. And as we go through the next few hours, we'll stop at 11:30. Yates Center, Fredonia, Neodesha, you guys may pick up a few showers, but a good chunk of us have chances over the weekend. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. OSHA is taking over the investigation of a Missouri bridge collapse that killed a construction worker yesterday. It happened just east of Kearney, Missouri. The bridge was being built over Carroll Creek when it gave way. Reporter Betsy Webster walks us through what happened.
Bridge is collapsed, EMS is en route.
The bridge was undergoing a full replacement under contract with the county. The sheriff's office said the crew was pouring the concrete deck when the structure collapsed at 1:44 p.m.
They had rebar and concrete down, and it's all falling in.
The sheriff's office says 3 men managed to get out with minor injuries, but a 4th was trapped in wet concrete.
It was not safe for firefighters to get down there to try to extricate him. They had to build up some barriers to make it safe for them to go in. I know it took probably about an hour, maybe a little bit more, to be able to get in there and get him out.
A life flight helicopter had been called out, then sent back. The man had died. All we know is that he worked for Lehman Construction out of California, Missouri. They're the ones the county had contracted to pour the decking. The construction project began in May of last year. The county's highway department said there were no previous safety concerns with the project. The county contracted with WSP Engineering to design the bridge and perform inspections. The highway department said an engineer was on site today to perform a safety inspection prior to the deck pour. What went wrong will now be up to OSHA to investigate. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office sent its chaplain out to help with the indescribable difficulties that others involved might be dealing with now.
According to OSHA records on the company pouring the bridge deck, one violation was found in 2019 related to improper excavation. That violation was considered serious but not willful. The company was fined $8,000. Coming up, a Joplin law firm provides a little warmth and kindness to area elementary school students, plus experts' tips on how to keep your kids safe during the Halloween season. Joplin law firm showing some school spirit by visiting Irving Elementary and giving out new sweatshirts with Joplin Eagles logos. The donation program by Johnson, Voorhees, and Martucci has been going on for 11 years. They visit all of the Joplin elementary schools and give away sweatshirts to prepare kids for the winter season with the extra benefit of showing their Eagles pride.
We do this because it's important to us to give back to the community, and there are a lot of times whenever families don't have cold weather gear, and as the weather turns, we want to make sure that every student in these districts has at least one good hat and one good sweatshirt that they can wear and also show off their school pride.
That firm is going to visit other Joplin elementaries to hand out more sweatshirts, 3,700 in all. Halloween's almost here. Kids are going to be heading out the door to collect candy. KOAM's Yana Hautala got some advice for keeping kids safe while trick-or-treating.
It is almost time for trick-or-treating. While some prefer the traditional door-to-door method, others may consider the modern trunk-or-treating safer. Loretta Price, who recently moved to Girard, says she wants to get to know families in the area. She wants people to know her house is a safe and supervised place to trick-or-treat.
I'm trying to bring something back for the kids to be able to enjoy their trick-or-treating in safety and being supervised by their children, and just the laughter of the children, just to have a fun Halloween event.
Trunk-or-treating, a trend that's rising in popularity, can be a safer option. That's according to Pittsburgh Police Chief Ben Henderson.
It's a way for people to get together and come to one centralized location where it's well lit and everybody knows who's going to be there versus diverting out into the neighboring areas that you may not be familiar with.
If you do choose to find your treats door to door, Price reminds kids to only go to houses where the lights are on. You can also look for people who are sitting outside.
My mother is 84 years old. I'm probably going to dress her up and so have her participate in handing the candy out to the children.
Police recommend children not wear clothing that is all the way dark, but if they do, they can use reflectors so drivers are able to see them. And when you get home, Chief Henderson says parents should always check their kids' candy before they dig in.
Sometimes parents will call with like suspicious things, but we've never actually been able to verify anything. But back in the day when I was a child trick-or-treating, there was a very big concern about people putting metal objects in candy like nails or tacks or something.
With these tips in mind, your kids can enjoy a spooky but safe Halloween.
Please come. I'm going to be handing out candy. Oh, and by the way, make sure your children brush their teeth afterwards.
Trick or treat and brush your teeth.
It's a good tip. Again, that was Yana Hautala reporting. Chief Henderson says Pittsburgh City Hall will have their trunk or treat on Halloween outside the City Hall from 3 to 5 p.m. Police officers are going to be there as well. Of course, there's going to be a lot of other Halloween events in the four-state area. You can head over to our website, koamnewsnow.com/events, to find events near you. You can even sign up for our newsletter, which will send you upcoming events at koamnewsnow.com/email. You can also download the KOAM News Now app and scroll down to the events category. A little bit later, we're going to hear from the Pitt State Gorillas on this weekend's matchup against Central Oklahoma.
Plus, we have some rain chances working back in, especially toward the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice day for us today. We do have a lot of mid and upper level clouds, which have increased, but it's turned out to be a pretty good day. Nice shot. This is our Lander Chevrolet Cadillac of Joplin. You can see Highway I-44 is dry, but we do have a few little clouds out there. Check out our drought tracker. This was updated today, so this does take into account the 2 to 4 inches of rain we have Monday and Tuesday, and it does look a little better. It still looks terrible. Still the highest category of drought, southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But in the red here, this is an extreme drought. So on the Missouri side, it's gotten a little bit better, and then around the fringe, it's severe, and then it gets quite a bit better once you get down toward Table Rock Lake. So put a small little dent, but we need a lot more events to really get rid of the drought. Temperatures right now, 58 in Stockton, 62 at Graham, Independent 65, Pittsburgh sitting at 63. You can see those clouds on the horizon, currently 64, easterly winds 5 to 10, humidity at 35%. All right, through the rest of the overnight hours, 60 here shortly by 7, midnight 51, 45 by 6, overnight low of 44. You can see those clouds increasing across the region, which you can pick up on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, and then really not that far out toward the west. Look at the rain all the way through Nebraska, Kansas, and parts of Oklahoma. As this tries to work toward us, it's really going to kind of fall apart, but we'll get a few random showers in here. But this is the beginnings of this next storm system. You can see this little spin, northern parts of New Mexico, and that low will track to our south, northern parts of Texas, as we go through the next couple days. First off, let's get into tonight. Here's 11:30, some isolated showers, western counties. As it pushes east, it just kind of fizzles apart. So if you live in our western counties, Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, and Neodesha, you may get a few showers tonight. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, still a lot of clouds. Here's the noon hour, near 60. And as we get into the afternoon, the clouds kind of increase again, but mid-60s for highs. Very similar to what we saw today. In the morning, 44, 60 by noon, 64 by 5. A lot of clouds, high temp of 65 tomorrow afternoon. So temperatures overall looking pretty good. Look at the rain trying to work in as we get into Saturday morning. Most of the rain stays to our south, but our southern counties will get a few random showers, especially Saturday afternoon. As we get into Saturday evening, Saturday night, some random light showers get into the region. Then this will slowly rotate off toward the east by the time we really work through Sunday. So you can see our rain chances, western counties tonight. As we go into the weekend, these are just isolated showers, but you can see at least some chances as we go through the weekend, which is great to see. And then also, any rain that we do have will be all out of here just in time for Halloween. 65 tomorrow, near 60 over the weekend, 68 on Monday. Trick-or-treating looks pretty good. 70s for next week, and then good chances for showers and thunderstorms moving back in late next week into next weekend.
We will take that trick-or-treating forecast any year, and the chance of more rain, that's promising.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Doc. Jacob here now with sports. Playoff time for the Colgan Panthers.
The Colgan hits the field tonight in the first round of the 1A bracket. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Pittsburgh State Gorillas aim to stay undefeated on Saturday, facing a tough Central Oklahoma defense. We'll hear from the Gorillas up next. The playoffs are here for high school football in southeast Kansas. Colgan Panthers have a home game to open the 1A bracket tonight, hosting the Central Heights Vikings. Now, Colgan on a roll heading into the playoffs. The Panthers won 6 straight games to close out the regular season. On the other side, Central Heights is 3-5. That one will get started at 7 o'clock. Now, also at 7 this evening, Oswego Indians open the 8-player Division I bracket at home against Madison. The Indians are 6-2. Madison 5-3. We'll have highlights from this one and that Colgan game right here tonight at 10. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas have just 3 games left in the regular season. The Gorillas are still undefeated, sitting at 8-0 heading into Week 9. The Pitt State is on the road against Central Oklahoma on Saturday. The UCO is 5-3, has a couple big wins against Northwest Missouri State and Emporia State. This will be a good test for the Pitt State offense against a really good UCO defense. The Broncos can kind of do it all on that side. They're top 3 in the league against the run, and they lead the MIAA with 11 interceptions in 8 games.
Each level of the defense complements one another. They're very solid up front with their guys, very strong, very physical, and so sometimes they can probably get away with just having a 3-man front up there, play one more guy in coverage to play coverage, and that makes it harder to throw the ball. Their defense also allows them to add a guy from the second level up to the front end and help with the run game. So they're always going to try to one-up you as far as a numbers game goes.
I think they definitely have a good front 7, and they've definitely got some good guys in the secondary too, and so we got to figure out some ways to get the ball out quick. That'll definitely be a challenge for us, but I think we can handle it.
The Seneca Indians are still alive for a state volleyball championship. The Indians claimed a district title earlier this week over Mount Vernon to earn their spot in the Class 3 state bracket. Seneca gets to play at home tonight in the sectional round. They're on the floor against Mountain Grove. That one will get started here in just a few minutes. Seneca, not the only local team playing in the state sectional round tonight. In Class 2, Diamond is on the road against Fair Grove, aiming to move on to the state quarterfinals. That is also at 6:30. And finally, another one that's just about to get going. The Jasper Eagles face Drexel tonight in a Class 1 sectional matchup. The winner of this one will play in the state quarterfinals on Saturday. We'll have the latest from all of these right here tonight at 10. So it's a busy night for sports. We got high school playoff volleyball, high school playoff football in southeast Kansas. I got to get out the door.
You have fun.
I will.
Because you've been watching some games. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Lucas Garrett joined the U.S. Army in 2003. He has roots in the Altamont and Oswego, Kansas area, and we are proud to salute Specialist Lucas Garrett, a 4-state hero. You know, we have thousands of these heroes in our database, and we're always looking for more veterans or currently serving service members. If you know of someone, why not just drop us a line? It's very simple. You just click on the link on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. How a Pittsburgh organization is taking its services on the road to help more people in need. Plus, Russian President Vladimir Putin accuses the West of seeking global domination. And how a new device called a trash interceptor is keeping plastic from reaching the ocean. Those stories, a lot more, coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The weather for the next couple of days, at least, looking pretty nice.
Yeah, we may get a few random showers in our far western counties tonight. Tomorrow looks good. 65. High school football weather looks good. We are going to have some hit and miss showers Saturday into Sunday, mainly our southern counties, but high temps near 60.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.